Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. So I wanted to share with you some of my favorite websites that I find myself looking at very frequently. I've got a lot more out there, but these are just my kind of seven websites that I look at on a regular basis, and I want to show you sort of kind of what I use them for, why I use them, and maybe how you can integrate them with your own trading. Okay, so number one, we've got TradingView. I know you've seen me with TradingView before many times. You know, TradingView is really, I think, a very good charting platform out there. Okay, you have charts with your broker, which is fine. I think there's something to be said for that. But this is a great little charting platform, and I'm always using it regularly. Okay, the next one is something which again I've used plenty of times before, and that's Finviz.co.uk or .com. Sorry. Now on Finviz.com. Here is where you can screen for trades. You can look at news. You can look at director dealings. You can look at earnings schedule for specific markets. You can look at an overview of futures. You can look at an overview of some currencies. You can group things into portfolios. A very useful tool for screening, for scanning, for an overview, kind of big picture of multiple markets. It's Finviz.com. They don't do any UK stuff on there, but it's all US stuff. In terms of stocks, by the way, shares. They don't do UK shares. They do US stocks. They do the currencies. They do indices on all commodities. And you can look at things kind of in a group. You can group the charts together. You can see things in a portfolio basis. It's very good. Very flexible. The free version of the one that you just have to register for free has more than enough stuff on it. Unless you need some of the more finer features, the free is going to be absolutely fine for you. So that's Finviz.com. Well worth looking at. The next one, guys, is StockTwits. I don't know, I may have mentioned StockTwits before, but StockTwits is a good place to kind of see what people are trading, what's interesting, what's moving, kind of give you an idea on sentiment, give you an idea on what people's feedback on stocks is. Whether you want to look at that or not and make a decision off it, who knows? But it's interesting to see what the general US retail crowd is looking at. Again, very much based on stocks. However, there's lots of talk on kind of currencies, commodities, all that kind of stuff as well. Which brings me to another one, which is Twitter. Now, it's not really a site as such, but what you can do is, if you don't use Twitter, you don't even have to be a member of it or anything. You can put in $sign and then the currency that you want to trade, and it's going to bring you up with a list of kind of tweets of people's analysis, people's sentiment, people's thoughts on it, which may or may not be of any use to you, but it's going to bring up things like, if there's something up and coming that might affect it, all sorts of things like that. So it just gives you more information if you need that information. You can put in US dollar JPY, you can put in DAX, you can put in Dow, you can put in any stocks, and just see if people are sharing news. Perhaps there's articles that you want to read that pertain to what you're going to trade. Perhaps there's charts of certain people you like to follow and see what their opinions are on it. It's just a full sea of information, which can be too much or it can be useful for you. Okay, I've skipped over. I missed out InterTrader. Now, InterTrader is a really useful economic calendar. I'll put a link to the actual page in the description below. But very useful. This is one of the better calendars because it puts on everything that you need from the different countries. A lot of them just put on the country that they're from, i.e. US or UK. This one puts on everything that's decent size, potentially money moving events. So if you're trading currencies, absolutely perfect. If you're trading euro, you want to know what coming out potentially in Europe that might affect the euro. Same if you're trading the Swiss or trading the pound or whatever it may be. So this calendar is very good to see what's going on the week ahead, what the major moving perhaps events could be. Helps you plan your trades a little bit more so you don't get caught out and all that kind of stuff. Talk about Twitter. The other one I've got for you guys is what's called AgriMoney. This one I don't look at so much, but it's a very useful site if you're trading commodities, specifically the softs like corn or soybeans or coffee, that kind of stuff. Generally, that's not going to have the news flow in the mainstream media as much, but this agrimoney.com is a good place to go. That if you kind of want to do a bit of research into a commodity you're thinking of trading from a swing trading perspective or whatever it may be, there's a lot of information on here, and it's all based on commodities again, so very, very focused. You can have news stories and kind of things that you wouldn't see elsewhere. So perhaps something's moved very, very viciously, coffee's moved viciously or something. Go on Agri Money and it will give you perhaps a reason why perhaps there's been some sort of harvest issue or whatever that you would maybe not get elsewhere. So a good place to go if you like to trade the commodities and stuff like that. And the final thing I've got for you guys is a bit of a different one here, but one I don't look at so much, but I think it's quite interesting. It's called shorttracker.co.uk. So if you're trading the UK shares, you can come on here and you can see exactly how many people are short a specific share. So this company tracks the short interest in the share, aggregates all the data and presents it to you and shows you, which hedge fund, which asset manager is short over a certain amount, collates the data and shows you percentage of people who are short. It's good for spotting short squeezes, or also good for spotting perhaps stocks that are overvalued and you might be able to join them on the short side. Again, more of a swing trading strategy thing, but a nice thing because UK stuff doesn't get much love out there in terms of stuff. Finviz, you can find your short interest on US shares, but shorttracker.co.uk specialise in the UK shares, and as far as I know, it's the only one that does it. It's free to use, and a good way of kind of seeing if any more hedge funds are positioned in the direction you want to position, or perhaps if there's a short squeeze going on, you might see hedge funds dropping that short and the short kind of status reducing, and you can perhaps extrapolate and work out a strategy from that. So just a couple of things, guys, we've got there. Trading View, good chart thing. Finviz, good for scanning stocks. Twit's quite handy for your US stocks. InterTrader, good economic calendar on there and a good broker to boot. Twitter, good for scanning to see what other people are talking about and to perhaps find news stories that you wouldn't be able to find elsewhere if you're interested in that kind of thing. Agri Money for your commodities. Short Tracker UK if you're specialising in UK shares. 7 websites worth a look. Any useful ones you've got, stick them in the comments below. Always like to hear what you guys are looking at and what it's useful for. Take care, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.